It was November 8th, 2010, 11:55 p.m. A rainy fall night in Wisconsin. I was lucky. I convinced my tired and grumpy father to drive me, a 14-year-old, to the Call of Duty Black Ops midnight premiere. We pull up to GameStop. The store is surrounded by a crowd of 2009-era hippies dressed in vintage clothes, smoking cigarettes and weed, adding to the laid-back, rebellious vibe of the night. My father, likely disappointed in who I was associating with, reluctantly went inside the store to get in line. After all, I needed him to be there with me because I couldn't drive and also couldn't legally purchase the game. We get to the front of the counter. In exchange for my receipt, the cashier hands me the Black Ops disc and says, "Good luck in battle." We drive home after midnight, and I rush in to load the game into my Xbox 360. The numbers, Mason. What's going on? Why am I strapped to a chair? Colors so dark and creepy with weird clips playing on the televisions to my right. There was such an art and aura about the game in the moment. I hop in a multiplayer match set in the Vietnam era. M16 old school graphics. Calling in UAVs like it's nobody's business. Then I switch back to the main menu. Time to try zombies. What is this menu even? It's just so creepy. It gave my 14-year-old self some fright going into the night at 1 a.m. I load up Kino der Toten, an old German theater. I quickly become overrun and the dogs prove to be too much and I die at round 7. I can do better than this. Let's start up a new game. Surely this was a bad decision late into the night. Just as I was getting close to breaking my prior record, I hear footsteps. Not from the game, but from something else. And then I realize it's my mother coming down the stairs. She reminds me it's 2 in the morning and that I have school the next day. I reluctantly agree and go to bed. Well, at least I lay in bed while thinking about the game. I arrive at school, the coolest guy because I was the only one who had already played the game. The graphics, the zombies, the multiplayer, all so perfect. Such a vibe and such an era of gaming. Fast forward to 2023. It's the midnight release, in quotes. We download the game. It takes hours. The menu, terrible. A billion options. Price, terrible. Menu just confuses the heck out of me. Didn't even know guns could have this many attachments as I sort through the 80 attachments. I have to pay extra for the battle pass and all this extra customization? No thank you. I try to get into a multiplayer match. Timeout. Servers down, first night. If this sounds familiar to you, you're not alone. You must also be frustrated with the current state of Call of Duty. Boring, flavorless, and money-driven. The art form seems to have been taken out of video games. They're shells of their former selves. They're rushed, not fully released, and often require lots of space and memory just to even function on your Xbox. This begs the question in my head. Did capitalism ruin video games? Now, full disclosure, I am a capitalist. I believe that despite its flaws, it's the best system that currently exists to generate wealth and prosperity in a nation. I believe in the free market and the idea that competition drives innovation, and this, in theory, should make video games better. But even I can see that capitalism doesn't work perfectly in every industry. You may think healthcare, housing, whatever. But now I see that video games is definitely one of those areas. This video comes shortly after Activision shut down the H2M mod. Devs just in it for art and fun and who genuinely enjoy the game and want to recreate a great experience are shut down by a company seeking to increase the bottom line. Let's discuss. So, nowadays, you load up one of the newer CODs. You'd assume everything's ready to go, right? You load up with high hopes, you purchase it again year after year, thinking maybe, just maybe this one will be different. But what do you get? You get a bland, uninspired experience that just feels like more of a cash grab than a passion project. It's like they've completely forgotten what made the game special in the first place. Same guns, same movement, little innovation, etc. Menu's always confusing, the experience is subpar, doesn't really create a real story, and the game just lacks this certain art form that the old ones had. And it's not just Call of Duty. Let's talk about Madden. I'm a Madden player too. Every year we're promised new graphics, new animations, engaging game modes that are supposed to revolutionize the franchise, but instead, we get a game that feels like it was made by people that don't even know football. It's just stale. It's super glitchy. I can't even play some of the My Player game modes anymore that used to be amazing in Madden 07. And it's like you're there to just spend money. There used to be a time when video games were an art form. Developers poured their hearts into creating these experiences that were immersive, engaging, most importantly, fun. Yeah, you think of these engaging experiences. We had World at War, just absolutely immersed in this World War II dark vibe. Then you had Modern Warfare 2, which was super creative, all these new features, just completely crazy game. Go to Black Ops, which just takes that to a whole new level of cool customization, new game modes, zombies, and it just seemed to keep going until we lost that. I don't know where that went. Now it seems like they're designed with one goal in mind, to get as much money out of you as humanly possible. Whether it's overpriced skins, pay-to-win mechanics, constant season passes, it's clear that the art's taking a backseat to the bottom line. In theory, you'd think competition should push developers to create better games, but in practice, what we're seeing is the opposite. Focus isn't on making the games great anymore, it's just which game can generate the most revenue. Unfinished products hit the market, cutting corners on quality and just relying on nostalgia or brand loyalty to sell copies rather than delivering something truly worth playing. I mean, let's be honest, if this game title wasn't Call of Duty, nobody would be buying it. And there are also some practices that are eliminating competition, such as the shutdown of H2M. Now I get it, it's Activision's product, and who knows, maybe they have an MW2 remaster up its sleeve, we don't know. I'd love to see these community-made games, but our current system prevents that, unfortunately. So where does that leave us? As gamers, we have a choice. We can continue to support these practices by just continuing to buy into this hype and spending money, or we can push back. We can demand better. Better games, better value, and more respect for the art form we all fell in love with. I don't think I'm going to be buying these new Call of Duties. It's up to us to show the industry that we're not just wallets with controllers. We're passionate players. We deserve games that are crafted with care and creativity. If you're as frustrated with the state of gaming as I am, let your voice be heard. Don't settle for these mediocre games. That wraps this one up. If you enjoyed this video, found it thought-provoking, please give it a thumbs up, share it with some fellow gamers, and don't forget to subscribe for more content, gaming, culture, everything in between. Let me know in the comments, what's your take on the current state of video games? Did capitalism ruin the art, or is there still hope? Love to hear your thoughts. Peace out.